Grab some food, grab some food, grab some food. There's a lot of food out there. Everything. Right now, you can't.
Big challenge.
Experience, right?
Right off.
So, you're a pro.
So now the pro is cut the listing. Very little. Conversation. Just right. All day. I'm like, how are you? You read and see me in the box. You're ready to shoot.
Okay.
He's just really.
Yep.
Bell.
I was Why do you sit back there? I'm letting everybody else. Very exciting. This will be another attention in the office.
Right. And all of the whole family, same personality. I know all three of your brothers in there. Oh,
And
my
that's
God.
it.
We need some.
Right, they're good. They are good people. All right, guys, I'm not gonna hold you up. I want to be respectful of time, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Welcome to May's team meeting. I'm flying solo, not nervous at all. Haven't been, worried about this or anything. So,
Definitely not dwelling.
my baby. Yeah, so welcome to May's team meeting, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in. Please. Back there, so, okay. We are gonna talk about who we are. We're going to work through our core value award winners. We have some great welcomes, the new agents to welcome this month. We have a couple vendor updates. We're gonna go through upcoming events. Celebrations, we have some great things to celebrate, and then our Never Split the Difference club, which I know you all are super excited about. Thank you for our core values. Someone read core values for me. Positivity, integrity, collaborative, growth mindset, and innovation. Love that. Love that. I think Michelle did a good job putting some graphics on here that sort of match.
Job's not.
Somebody read our core focus. Empowering people to reach their goals and dreams. And what's our niche? Collaborative community supporting strong families and business. So you guys can say that in your sleep. I know Virginia has a so how did they get this time? Who's got some love to say? Megan, sorry. Why are we sharing one? One, because of the children lover, and two, Megan helped me out my workshop on Thursday. Oh. For them. Who else has that? Michelle. Oh, I got one for Braddock back there. Oh, yeah.
He, through a conversation, he wasn't even asked to do this, but through a conversation, he overheard that I was having a lockbox problem on a property where I had to go to GHR and get, if you don't know, GHR has the enormous snapper things that you can get a lockbox off of a doorknob.
Bolt covers.
But what are they?
Bolt covers.
Very large. But they are heavy, they're heavy. So Mike heard that I was having issue, beat me to the property when I had the clippers and took a tool, got me out of that lockbox, got the key out without even being asked. He just went over and did that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow, that's nice. I'm curious how he caught wind that this was happening. Probably Sean.
And should answer.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
It's not as loud as my neighbor next door, but loud enough to hear.
Oh, right, right.
Which side? Which side, Shannon?
Erica's making us look good as a woman of influence.
He's just trying to hide.
I know. We are going to be, celebrating that at next month's, team meeting as well, so make sure you're. We will be recognizing Erica Cambridge, at our next team meeting. Anybody else?
I have one more.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, two. Sheila and Heather are doing a great job of filling in. Sometimes not thanked jobs, so thank you for that. We appreciate you.
Love it, love it. Jeremy.
To help me here.
Okay.
Each of my clients down in this area, both moving to the Scranton area. So they referred them out to a KW agent. They happened to refer both to the same agent. The agent was so impressed with how I handled those transactions, that she's sending me more.
Whoa.
Wow. That's amazing. To Marissa and Tyler.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll take this. Deal. Anybody else? Don't mind. Love it. All right, up next, we have our core value agent quote of the month. And we have some really special ones. Get my phone ready because I have some messages that I have to read. You might want to grab the tissue. I'm called Kathleen. You might want to grab the tissue. So our agents of the month for the month of May are Sheila and Erica, who doesn't want to be up front tonight, who doesn't want to be in front of him. But Sheila was nominated by Andy Sack. Grandpa. And here's what he has to say. I'm sorry I can't be here to do this in person, but duty calls me. It's with great appreciation and confidence that I transfer this month's KW Cultural Award to Sheila. This is not a difficult decision for me. Sheila consistently embodies the values that make our culture so strong. Her willingness to go above and beyond for others truly sets her apart. Whether it's supporting a fellow agent or stepping in to help the company as a whole, Sheila is always ready to lend a hand. Her selflessness, positivity, and dedication to teamwork make her a shining example of what it means to live out our core values. Sheila, thank you for all that you do. You genuinely deserve this recognition. That's why I couldn't do it virtually. This is why I needed you now. Thank you. And our next one, Miss Erica, came from Shanice. And so Shanice said, hello, I'm on vacation this week, and I'd like to nominate Erica. She truly embodies integrity and is always collaborative and helpful, no matter what I need. She brings such positivity, especially in moments when I struggle to find it myself. Erica is incredibly ambitious, yet there's not a single ounce of scarcity in her. She operates with a beautiful, growth-oriented mindset that inspires me.
Oh.
Wow. Wow. No, she was so upset she went through. Thank you, ladies, both.
Well, I was just like,
Next month, like, you gotta, yeah.
Up your game, girl.
You gotta follow that one up. So congrats to Sheila and Erica. We have a couple of new agents, that we want to welcome to our office. We have Madison Guerin, who came from the Harrisburg East office. You might recognize her. She joined the, Hoover Lineham and Associates team. We miss Brittany Flanagan. Every time I ask Siri to call Brittany, it tries to call her. No, the other one. Brittany Flanagan is a new agent at our, Chambersburg office with the Safety and Lot Group. Miss Tammy Peters just joined, and Levi White also came from the Harrisburg East office. He was the agent services coordinator over there, and he's the Jane. So we have some exciting new welcomes and look forward to you. Happy day. Next, we have a couple vendor updates.
Just want to talk about a couple of things, some things that have occurred in the industry that are coming up during transactions that we're hearing these things. An ACE plus PDR report just had one. You've not heard of what that is. It's basically a hybrid of an appraisal with no value, and not having one at all. In between a waiver and having it. Essentially, an appraiser still goes out, they still take photos. They're really just looking to make sure that there aren't any glaring safety or health hazards. But it's a lengthy report. It's like 46 pages. So it's like not just a couple pages long, but that's all it's for. The system still accepts the value. That's what the ACE part stands for. It's automated collateral evaluator. So it says, we accept the value. We just want to make sure the property is in good condition.
And they're there longer. This lady was there in an hour. Because they took pictures of everything.
It's someone pays for it. It's out there for an hour. It's $125.
Wow.
On occasion, we will get that. That's fine. It's only for the Freddie Mac. So we use both systems. Systems to try to get someone a waiver who can get this alternative. Another thing I wanted to just talk about was bridge loans and when they're appropriate. If someone is able to essentially take equity from their home and pay cash for another property, yes, not all the way, that makes perfect sense. Do that. Bridge loans are expensive. Lenders know they're short term. They know that they're not going to have that loan for very long, so they charge a lot of fees, a higher interest rate. So if a customer can, or buyer can handle carrying both properties at the same time, just buy the property, 5% down conventional, and do a recast after they sell their current. Recast is $250. It's cheap. It's cheaper than getting a bridge loan. So if they need a mortgage to buy the next property, just do it. Just do a straight up conventional 5% down. Go ahead.
I forgot to say my thank you to, and hugs and kisses to Jeremy. He got a loan that we're settling June 11th, then it's cleared to books.
Hey, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Question on the ACE PDR.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that in lieu of a
Well, it's really for the same reason that you can sometimes get an appraisal paper, not at all. It means that every appraisal report, the data within that report is uploaded into the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac's databases. Those systems then analyze every adjustment, every comp that's ever been used on any of the properties in that area, and then determines based upon risk, credit scores, loan to value, debt ratio, whether it accepts that value without having it. Then it goes to the next phase where does it accept it and not spark any type of health or safety hazards. Like I said, Freddie Mac is the only one that offers that. I don't know what in the system causes the distinction as to when it wants one of those reports and not. It's still a good alternative because you're not worried about it. Any other questions? All right.
We know who I am, so just give me a call or give me an email or text if you need me for anything. Appreciate it.
Okay,
So I made a video because I was in State College with our friends.
but you're here.
But I made it in time.
We're so glad you're here.
Right, how fast. So, sorry for my voice, I'm still recovering from my surgery, so I still sound like a very young child. Anyways, a couple of updates about, precision and what we're doing and things like that. So right now, we are managing about 136 files total right now. We're on track this year to do about 744 files this year, and about $260 million in volume. So you guys are killing it. The spring market is really, really like in full gear right now, and we are preparing ourselves for the summer. With that said, don't neglect your database. Your database is your gold mine. Our database services went live right before my surgery, so about 3 weeks now. From all I can tell and from what the agents have told me so far, things have gone really well and they're really pleased with the services. So if you are thinking about using our database management services, we're essentially an inside sales agent for you as an individual agent or your small team. Now, marketing management, we have Michelle with us today. She is our marketing coordinator, and if you looked,
Keep your people to yourself.
The mayor's here.
Michelle's here. She can talk to you more in depth about our marketing services, what we do for you, how we break it down, what we offer, and how we can help you scale your business. All of our services are always meant to, at the root of it is to help you scale and be, dominant in your market. I've been in service all my life. I was in the military, I was a teacher, and now I serve KW agents. So if you need any advice or consulting, or if I can do anything for you, please let me know. I'll give you a quick example, then I'm done. Braddock has been, we've been going back and forth, ever since I came back from surgery about how we can like boost his business and not just his real estate business, but the car condos. You know that he's selling car condos. And yesterday, we went back and forth and I helped him with the script because there seemed to be a prospective lead that was kind of like a red flag, right? Mike?
Yeah, I mean, don't mind me jumping in.
Go ahead.
Wasn't sure where the conversation was going to go, and I wanted to be prepared for whatever direction it went. And I was struggling with what to say. And so Chris and I went through some scenarios, a little bit of role play, and Chris came up with this amazing script that, if it goes this way, this is how the conversation goes. If it goes this way, this, and the guy was legit, and we got a deposit from him yesterday afternoon. So, matter of, 8 or 9 hours, went from, red flag to got a deposit. I mean, it was just amazing. And that script, certain contents of that script was really what got that guy reeled in. The safety
I think
and
the
the privacy.
and the safety,
Yeah,
because that's why he was very vague about any assets that he had, and he didn't want people to know about it. And then he used the script and he started singing like a little bird. So,
yeah.
but that's about it. If you want to talk anymore, I'll be here for the rest of the afternoon.
I love that. And I just want to, I want to just give a little plug for the marketing service because the market center we are using, Michelle, to help us with a little bit of leverage in our arena. And Michelle and I are, she's been a big thing to me and taking some things off my plate. So thank you for that. And I think next we have Megan. Come on up, Megan.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see everyone's happy faces here today. Me and my team, we're having a really great month. We've had some great quick deals that have gone through recently. We had one with Damaris and Kelly that went through really quick. And we have one coming up with Ben and John. So I'm really proud of how my team was able to turn those around quickly in terms of title. We've had a couple quick deals with lenders as well that we've gotten turned around for quick closes, so that's been really great too. A couple things we're seeing, now it's vacation time, people are going away, they might not be able to be there for closing, so if you need a seller that has to sign early, just reach out to us, we can accommodate that. Even if you have other documents that need to be notarized, in advance, we're happy to accommodate that, so just reach out, to us. Last Wednesday of every month, I'm having office hours from 1 to 2, so stop in, talk if you have an issue. I'm always up in the conference room too, so people have just been stopping by with any issues they may have. Stop by, we'll talk, and if any other issues arise, or if you have a deal or a specific question, just reach out to me and I'm happy to talk.
Any questions for Megan? No? Okay. Thank you, Megan. All right, upcoming events. Get your calendars ready. Just a little reminder that Brittany and Caleb aren't here.
They will be up there.
Oh, wow. Sheila's been helping, everybody's been helping, and I do miss them. So we have Ricardo Belgrave coming to join us next Tuesday. This is a change from what was on the original May calendar. We did have a How I Grew scheduled with an agent from another market center, and he had a scheduling conflict. But Ricardo said that's okay because I can fill 2 hours, and I'm happy to do that. So Ricardo is still joining us. That will be here in the Imola training room. He's going to do a Win with Buyers session for us next Tuesday, 11 to 1. Please be here for that. And then our June calendar is hot off the press. Everybody does have a copy of that at their seat as well. I do want to just bring 2 events to your attention. On the 2nd, we're doing a make and take event. So you can do some pop-ups. Yeah, you can do some pop-ups. So we're doing little bags of microwave popcorn. We have some cute little, the market is popping cards. And then there'll be a place for you to put your business card on there. You can go take them, hand them out to your clients. So we provide everything that you need. It's super cheap, super easy, and we get to hang out and have fun while we do it. You do need to register for that. So if you have questions or you want to get on board with us on that, let me know. And then the other special event you need to know about is on the 11th, 10 to 3 in this room. Brittany and I are hosting a database demolition day. We heard that agents are struggling to clean up their database. My database needs cleaned up. Guess what? We're going to do that. So we're going to sit in this room together. We're going to let you blow up your database, clean out the people that you don't want in there, tag appropriately. We can tag the DTD2. We can tag your A's and your B's. We're going to have lunch. We're going to be here with you. So bring your laptop and be ready to work. And then we have, I do want to let you know too, if you have met Scott, our broker yet, Scott will be here on the 17th. He's going to be doing fine print and the filter for us. So he's going to be talking about some compliance issues that we need to know about, some NAR-ish things that he'd like to make sure we're still following, and he wants to talk to us about advertising, especially on social media. So, I think that'll be a really good class too.
So we all go to.
No, yeah, well, yeah.
What was that, Maris? What was that?
I said we don't do it wrong.
They're concerned.
I can tell you there's at least 1, if not 2 people currently being investigated by the state in this office because some of our friendly competitors are actively turning us in for marketing.
I've heard of certain people who do that, but I didn't really think it was true.
And it can be as minor as not having the office phone number on your.
Major.
I mean, you don't think it's major, but it is, you know, I don't need that,
It's
but you
happening.
do need that.
It's happening. So Scott agreed to come in and talk to us about that. I would, I would highly recommend making sure.
And your E&O insurance is going to cover you if you're not in compliance.
Say that again.
Your E&O insurance, I'll let Scott tell you, but your E&O insurance is not going to cover you if you're not in compliance.
Yeah, come to that training. It's gonna be good. Mega Agent Camp is coming up, San Antonio, Texas, August 11th, through the 14th.
I'm excited.
Are you going?
Yeah, I'm coming to get to them super nice.
Very last minute. All of us, but yes, the marathon last. I know Brittany's already back from taking it. She wants a good group to go with. So, feel free to get registered for that. If you have any questions about where to stay, if you need help with flights, anything like that, certainly reach out to Caleb. Brittany or I will be happy to help get you all hooked up for that. All right. April agent celebration. We got some celebrating that we want to do for some top producers, our individual closed units and volumes. There are some new faces up on the floor that I love to see. So for April, we have Amy, Keith, Kelly, Kevin, Heather, Maggie, and Jason. So congratulations to all of them. Those are individuals. And then for our individual teams, quite a few up on here as well. We have Mike DeReamer team, Eric Rove team, the Gardner Group team, and Espen Shade team, Kaya Realtors LLC, Adam Osborne team, Shanice, and Chaplin Realty Group. So way to go on our top team for closed units and dollars as well. And then our top producers for groups. We have the Dave Hook team, Simon Henry team, Cooper Lynham and Associates. Regrettably couldn't join us today for this team meeting because they scheduled their own team meeting during this. And they said it will never happen again. We're really sorry we can't be. But congrats to them. We have the Stacy Malott group and Shannon Foster team as well. So way to go. Right? Yeah. I do want to just give a little special shout out to our agents who have their first closing or their first listing. So many of you probably know who Amanda is. She's been in the office a good deal. And it shows. She had her first closing. Dom, who's part of, who relied on, had his first closing. And Elijah, who's been with us for a while, also got his first closing. And then Jennifer Dorn just got her first listing in Citizens. So congratulations to all of them. We're excited for them. I want to give a special shout out to Trent and Michelle, making it on the cover as real producers. So Trent brings this magazine to my office and he like plops it down in front of me. And he's like, look. And I said, your mom looks so. That's what I told him. Your mom looks so good. Yeah, he didn't. So congrats. I want to talk just a little bit about some growth rate insights. Brittany is our data queen, and she ran just a few little snapshots of data for us that I thought we would just go over and share a little bit. So I just want to let you know that we are producing more than double the per agent output of Iron Valley locally. We lead in growth efficiency and productivity per agent. Do you guys feel that? Do you feel like right now, like you are outpacing market, like you are busy?
I feel it.
I bet you feel it. I bet you feel it, yeah. Number one in market share growth over the last decade. Number one in top 20% median listing count. Number one in agent productivity per head versus Iron Valley. And we attribute that to the proven systems that turn potential into top.
Can you go to the last one again?
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah. KWCPA is the best place in Central PA for ambitious agents to become top producers. Why? We build businesses that last. And if you have ever had a consulting conversation with Brittany, ever showed up to a training that she's done, you know that that is her passion, right? Helping you guys be business owners, not just be real estate agents. And I think that that sets us, apart from everybody else in the industry.
Can I just
I'd love for
put
you.
a cherry up? I actually would argue that it's has less to do with KW and it's the number one, the fact that we actually have people who show up. It's not a dig on those other companies at all. But offices for most days. Each other get deals done and script practice and role play and be prepared for that appointment doesn't happen places like it happens here. It's that culture is what drives me.
And it's not gonna happen from your dining room table either.
I was at a settlement the other day at Berkshire Hathaway, and the title agent told me that they're turning all their offices into cafe style offices, like they're not actually gonna be operating with people at the front desk. It's literally gonna be appointment only.
Don't really have to sign box.
Correct.
Okay,
That's weird.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I know it's one of the things
So
that,
call your Berkshire Hathaway.
yeah, anytime we bring someone into the office, that's usually what we, it's always busy.
I had a commercial agent here, from another company a few weeks ago. And he's been in business for like 30 years and he said, this reminds me of like what offices were like in the mid-90s. When there were people and there was buzz and it was kind of cool.
Jeremy?
I'd like to add too, just outside looking in, that one thing that I've noticed is that you don't take every, and I think that's also a lot of these other agencies that just grab people. More heads they have, the more people they have in seats, the more roster. I think that's the way to go to build strong brand business. I disagree. The way you do it here is right.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right. Who wants to talk about never split the difference? I know you all are so excited for this, aren't you? So I just want to tell you how this happened. I want to give you a little background. I had a meeting with Shannon, and she was talking to me about some ideas around Education Tuesday, team meetings, and all of the things. And she said, you know, I think it would be really great if like we had some participatory sort of elements into our team meetings versus, you know, not right. Like let's want to hear from you. And then I think it was during a coffee and conversations one morning, Mike Braddock and I were chatting, and he mentioned the book Never Split the Difference. We tend to follow the exactly what to say scripting in our coffee and conversation call. But Mike said, I think that we really need to spend some time focused on this Never Split the Difference. If Julie Hess was here, I'm sure she would agree. I know that she's a big proponent for this book as well. So we said, okay, let's do it. Here's the good news. If you haven't read the book, it's okay. There is absolutely no judgment in this. I do want to just sort of open this up and have a dialogue around anybody who has read the book, anyone who's familiar with Chris Voss. He happens to be a hostage negotiator. So when he's talking about negotiating, the stakes are a little higher maybe than what we're used to dealing with, but I think it's still, very, very practical skills that we can use. Mike, do you want to just sort of open us up with what your takeaways were and how this has helped you in your business?
Yeah, and I'll just start with, the old saying, never judge a book by its cover. Well, I do. And, I've heard about that book for a couple of years, and the title kind of got me, Never Split the Difference. Sounds like How to Be Greedy. And I didn't pick it up, but I eventually did, and I was taken back by how engaging it is and how relevant it is, not only in the FBI negotiating hostage situations, but how it parlays in the business. It's really just learning how to listen and lead your conversation through tactful empathy. Those are Chris's words, but I can't say enough about the book. It's one of those that when you're done reading it, you wish there was more. And so, you know, what you do is you go back and read it again, or continue to grow off of that. Hundreds and hundreds of podcasts. You can look up Never Split the Difference, Fritz Voss. You know, listen to an hour of that. That'll give you kind of a little bit of what the book's about. But if you want to have really good conversations with your clients, know when to zip it. A lot of us tend to, myself included, we tend to show up and grow up, as they say. Especially in the beginning when we're nervous. And I still get nervous, you know, but having the skill sets that you can learn through that makes you more comfortable. And you tend to command the conversation a little better just by listening. Let them do the talking. And you can lead the conversation the way you want. That's never splitting the difference. You can lead the conversation the way you want just by asking them a question.
Yeah, can you share a little bit just around like where the title of the book comes from?
It's really about getting what you want, but letting the other side believe they're getting what they want. And it's not a manipulative thing. It's getting what you set out to get and leaving the other party feeling like they got something. But it's collaborative. You know, how do you talk a guy out of a bank that's got 4 hostages and says you got 60 seconds or she dies? I need a car and a helicopter. You got 55 seconds. You know, how do you do that?
Yeah.
You can take those same skill sets and apply it to any business, even at home, you know, with your spouse. It's amazing how I've taken questions and saying, would you do this versus are you opposed to? And generally, it works a lot better.
You get them to say no.
Go for the no.
Yeah, so Chris Voss basically says, you know, oftentimes in transactions, you know, I want to buy the thing for 50,000, somebody wants to sell it for 100,000. In our society, what do? We're going to meet in the middle, right? Let's split the difference. We're going to meet in the middle. We'll go at 75,000. But Chris says, as a hostage negotiator, I got 4 people being held hostage. I want 4. They want 4. We can't split that difference, right? But I want all 4 of the people. And so he just talks about really making sure that we are actively listening, making sure that people feel heard, that they feel like you understand where they're coming from. And I had a conversation with Gary Muccio this morning in Carlisle, very similar to what Mike was sort of alluding to, this whole like, it sort of sounds greedy. Like, does this really align with the win-win, I guess, you know, the win-win culture of KW. But I just think if we can utilize some of the strategies that Chris outlined, mirroring back to some.
There's 3 types of people, you know, in the book. There's the analyzer, they don't talk much. There's the aggressive, they talk a lot. And then there's the accommodator, they want everything to go right. And if you can figure out who you're talking to going into your meeting, you can really guide that whole conversation the way you want, and having them feel like they were successful in what they wanted as well. The perfect example was yesterday. You know, I showed up and I knew the guy was an analyzer. They like to be quiet, but what you do is you be quiet too. They start talking and then you feel like they're.
I feel like it's less about negotiating, more about extracting information. More about letting them work.
Absolutely. And I think that if you've been on Coffee and Conversations, we talk about this a lot, going 3 deep.
Yeah.
Going 3 questions deep to get to the true motivation.
Yeah.
You know, usually whatever they're saying, whatever objection, whatever they think that they want, there's an underlying issue to that. And so you have to dig to get to that.
So you're saying you need to dig deep and listen.
I'm saying
So
we need to dig deep and listen.
Mirror mimic, right?
Mirror and mimic. That's exactly right. Yeah. Shannon, go ahead.
And he talks about finding the black swan, which I think is that going 3D, because, you know, somebody keeps giving you the same objection, and then you know that's not the objection, and it's trying to uncover, asking those calibrated questions and trying to, just like in exactly what to say, get them to tell you the information that they, for whatever reason, have close to their vest, and it totally changes the conversation. And now you know how to get them to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I will,
I should just read the book.
yeah, I will tell you, Mike said, you know, there's this group, the Black Swan Group, you know, I'm following them, and blah, blah, blah. Maybe you could reach out to them and see, like, maybe they'll do a presentation. Like, you know, maybe we can get them on something. And so I reached out and I had a consult with their sales team, and they don't talk to anybody for less than 50 grand. It's like, okay, we'll do this ourselves. We got this. Yeah, we'll take two. We got this. Has anybody else, I know Shannon's read it, I know Braddock's read it. Has anyone else actually read it? Yeah. Do you have any thoughts or any insights that you want to share with us?
I think it's a little less like the 3D method,
Okay,
and a little bit more about letting them be in control. Like the mirroring technique, like in a real life example, I had a client that wanted to buy a property, but the sellers didn't want to accept the offer. And I just mirrored back like, so you're not accepting our offer because of our terms. Is that what I'm getting? And they basically just told me everything that I needed to know after that. Like, well, it's because, you know, their aunt is interested in possibly purchasing the home. So it's more about extracting that information that you can use and say, okay, so now that we know where there's a family situation going on, what are some ways we can go around that? Where 3D is more like, I think 3D is a little salesy personally for my approach, but like mirroring and getting them to talk more and getting them to work on it helps you later in negotiation.
Too deep sufficient.
Yeah, it gives you like
Yeah.
more, yeah, it gives you more information.
And a yes isn't a confirmation. You need to go for the, that's right. That's when you know you got it.
Or like,
Get to that's right.
is it never split the difference where you ask an open question, like you don't say yes or no, it's like, what are the chances that we could?
Would it be
settle?
ridiculous?
Yeah.
If I said to Shannon, you're going to Starbucks, can you grab me a? Versus Shannon, is it a ridiculous idea for you to pick up a latte for me?
You say, no, not a problem, because it's easy to say no.
And she feels in control.
yeah, it was a good book. I would recommend taking a look at it. If you're not a reader, I will tell you, I audibled a lot of it. I enjoyed reading it much better, the Audible, because of some of the like hostage negotiation, like conversations. It sort of sounded like I was watching an action movie that I was just not really interested in. That was, it just wasn't really my thing. I did enjoy actually reading it, versus listening to it, but I would absolutely recommend it. If you're looking to sharpen your skills in your negotiations and in your conversation.
Or even develop.
Yeah, well, develop. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
sharpen.
Yeah.
So for people that are super ADHD like me that need to audible things, print the Cliff Notes version, Chat GPT, a summary of it and get some details and stuff, and then listen to it and follow along. And you can, I didn't bring the long notes on it, but then you can kind of take notes and you can do your like 3 things at once that you have to do to get your brain to work. But if you listen and you're following along with your script, I know you may not be ADHD, it might not be your problem, but it's fun.
Love it.
You're exactly right.
I love it.
I'm laughing because I can
Yeah.
relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that way you can still process it, right? And you get through it. You're listening, you're writing, you're looking. It's
Yeah.
like all the things that keeps you engaged.
Yeah.
So that's for those of us who can't focus.
I think one of the things that most of us struggle with in conversation is actually choosing to listen. I know from my pastoral and counseling training, you actively have to work at listen. Because we're so anxious to share what we know, and then we're trained to prove that we're worth the fee. So we want to say, well, we know this, and we did this comp, and we did that, and we go in to present versus active listening isn't just sitting there while the conversation is on. You're picking up why they're saying it, how they're saying it, their body language. And so it really is a skill you have to develop because most of us don't do it.
Well, and our brains are just always I mean, we're just.
What am I going to say
Eighteen
next?
tabs open up here. There's just always something, so how do you like really hone in on somebody? And listen, just take your. Yeah. Anything else? Okay, go eat more food, please, because there's a whole bunch back there. Jason, you and I are gonna be eating sandwiches all week, man. All week, we're gonna be eating sandwiches. Thanks, guys.
Good job. You did a great job.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Judy.
That's all right, my damn sweet. Gotta make money.
It's not.
Yeah. Bonding.
He doesn't do the activity. Now.